Capricorn, what is going on? Welcome to the channel. I'm Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me. We are here to look at your energy for the next couple weeks. So welcome in. I hope things are going well for you in your world. I hope they're not too hectic, too crazy. There has been a lot going on energetically. So those spaces that we're struggling a little bit, definitely take time for yourself. Recalibrate, recenter, ground, whatever you need to do. We're in Aries season, so the energy of Aries is the house of self. It is all about focusing on our own empowerment. And now is a great time to do that. Empowerment and how we can bring that back into our daily lives. So with that in mind, we'll start off the reading with an energy cleansing, just kind of set the energy, set the tone, release any blocks, obstacles that we might be running into. This is also a really good time to set intention. If you're struggling with something, if you need a message from Spirit, if you have a question around what you're going through, this is a great time to just think upon those things and ask Spirit to deliver those messages for you. All right, Capricorn, Aries season, Capricorn reading. Let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is blocking the highest and best for the Capricorn collective. Any fear, doubt, uncertainty, anger, frustration. Help make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Amen. All right, so let's get into it, Capricorn. We're moving into Mercury retrograde. It starts at the beginning of this month. I'll be working to post videos on that as a heads up. Obviously these are collective readings, so use your own discernment. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. And I do personal readings. Did I say that? I don't know. I do personal readings if you want to hit me up. All that information is in the description box below. And definitely just as we're talking about it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It helps grow the channel. It helps reach more individuals. Your energy just popped out. So really kind of standing strong in your power, that double confirmation on that message of empowerment. It's not an easy thing to do, right? But we need to find better ways to ground in our own self, in our own life, finding tools, techniques, mechanisms that really support us as we're building, as we're growing. We have a full moon over the next week or so. I'll post videos on all that stuff. That's my intention. We got to make adjustments is what I'm hearing. Adjustments to how we're doing things. If something's not working, we need to reset, rebalance, recalibrate, and then figure out what a better path forward is. Do we need to make some readjustments with what we're going after? Or maybe that thing is just not meant for us, and having that discernment to know which is which. Okay, so occult knowledge. I love this because it really helps us connect with our intuition, with our inner feeling. This is also if you're into ceremony, ritual, whatever your spiritual practice is. It doesn't have to be, something you don't vibe with. This is something that really just resonates with your own soul. This is some type of knowledge, information coming to you is what I'm hearing over the next couple weeks. And it is really flipping the script on how you are seeing people, places, and things in your life, especially with this Gemini energy, right? There's duality all around us. That's just life. It's embodied in everything. And a lot of times, especially Earth energy, we get so fixed in wanting something in one way. I think that's human nature. We have our ideas, our fantasies about how things are going to work out, right? But sometimes we have to remember that it doesn't go that way, or that it's not what it seems, right? That there actually is more to the story is what I'm hearing. And I feel like with this occult knowledge, with the Gemini energy, it's really speaking about how you're seeing things in a new light, things that you didn't see it in that way before, had maybe more of a fixed perspective around something or someone. And I like it because even though that awareness can be humbling at the same time, it really gives you this spark, this new inspiration and with how to move forward. Sorry, that came out a little funny. It's using the magic wand. This reminds me a lot of magician energy, when we are aware of the elements, aware of the things around us that we have to work with, and we use it in a smart and intentional way. So I feel like some of the quote unquote wool that's been lifted from your eyes, it's now giving you new inspiration. It's now like, oh, okay, I can work with this energy. I just have to do it a little bit differently than how I've been doing it before. It's all a journey, right? It's all a process. Whether we like it or not, it would be nice if we got to this destination and lived happily ever after, but unfortunately, it's not the nature of the beast. Everything's evolution. And while I'm saying that, I'm hearing for you, Capricorn, to not get too down on yourself, right? Especially when we're not seeing things, from that bird's eye perspective. No shade. If we're a little limited in how we're seeing things, then we are going to do it in a certain way. But I feel like a lot of that has been uncovered, and it's in places where I'm hearing it's all about where we put our time, where we put our energy. And I feel like maybe you've invested in some things that really weren't giving out in the same way that you had hoped. You really didn't get the return that you had expected. And, I feel like you're really going back into this space when you made these decisions. Why did I do this? What was my reasoning behind it? Was that really how I should have handled it, or should I have changed it up a little bit differently, right? The occult knowledge, it also reminds me of the Akashic records, where that is the store of all the knowledge, right? So again, sometimes because of our perspective, because of what we're going through in life, we see it in a very specific way. And then we have those aha moments, or we get some information coming in where we actually see the reality around something. Yeah, so there's been a lot of work on your plate. I feel like with this Seven of Wands, it's been you upholding everything, You're that one wand in the center, keeping everything balanced, harmonious, doing a lot of the work. And I feel like that's part of what you're realizing around people, situations you've been dealing with, right? They didn't really contribute. They didn't give you that reciprocity, that 50-50, or, maybe there were some, good intentions to begin with, and it just kind of fizzled out. You're coming through with this Emperor energy, Aries. So it's the way that you're structuring, maybe having a little bit too much control on how, or trying to have that control on how things, shook out. I don't know. I feel like my words aren't coming out very fluidly. I should try to slow down a little bit. In your environment, yeah, so this is dealing with partnership, right? It could be love relationship, it could be business, community, friends, etc. But you're dealing with something that came into collaboration with you, and their energy, it was this diligence of working, right? That Eight of Pentacles energy, refining, growing, strengthening. But with your energy coming up as the Emperor, Seven of Wands, that's talking about again, that limitation. It's confirming places that you were seeing things in one way because you were doing everything, right? Because you felt like you had to uphold all the things. And sometimes it, yes, I think control is a nice idea. We all know we don't have as much of it as we think that we do, and those realizations can be very humbling. But it really kind of blocked you from seeing that whole picture like I was talking about earlier. Yeah, so justice energy, Libra energy coming in as the connection. So this is, again, that diplomacy, that bird's eye perspective, the weighing of the scales. Justice also rules legality, legal contracts, and Mercury does as well. This is not a great time to start something new, sign a new contract. If you've had it in the works for a minute, that's fine, right? But we never want to get into something when we're in a retrograde period, because oftentimes we're missing the fine print. We miss certain aspects that we might be looking back months later and like, oh shit, why did I do that? Why did I put myself in this position? And this could have been an offer. This can be a new offer, someone coming in, someone wanting to work with you to balance out, but you're unsure. There's a lot of hesitancy. And again, Spirit's really asking you to have a higher perspective, really think things through before you make that final decision. Maybe this is not someone that you normally would gravitate towards working with. Maybe, I feel like different perspective, different viewpoints on life or how things should be done. Just because there's differences doesn't make it wrong or bad, right? I think we all know that. But there is this added level of don't get so stuck into your way of doing things, because it is going to continue to make you feel limited. It's going to continue to I don't feel like you're going to get to where you want to go as quickly. Again, putting the right energy into the right things, plugging it into, right? Sometimes we can feel that forward momentum, but it might be investing in something that, again, 6 months, a year down the road, it doesn't really work out how we had anticipated. And right now, your 9 of Cups energy, that wish fulfillment, is being blocked. It's feeling a little, you know what you want, you know what you're going after. That's why you're being so diligent about it. But then at the same time, it's, again, not keeping your options open enough is what I'm hearing. Really try, this independence, 9 of Pentacles, it's where you want your own autonomy. And we have 2 9s. So Spirit's basically saying you can bring this cycle to a close. It doesn't have to be you against the world, right, is what I'm hearing. You're actually, and that's the thing with Capricorn energy, you're so strong, you can take on so much that oftentimes we forget about delegating or sharing the load. And I get it, right? If it's something that's super personal to us, we want our stamp on it. We don't necessarily want someone to ruin it for us, right? Or like I was saying, it might not be how we envision it, what our vibe is, but there's still something really beautiful in store for you here. Especially if this is new energy coming in towards you. This is something that you feel good about. There already is some type of connection. And while, yes, that still has to build and grow, there's something valuable, if we can work together, if we can be on a team, etc., if we can find a way to bridge the gap between our differences. That's what the 8 of Wands energy brings. It's messages, it's communication, it's collaboration. And I feel like Spirit is opening up the door for you for this opportunity. But try not to be so rigid. Yeah, you kind of just have to look at it with a more diplomatic. Queen of Swords is definitely confirmation on this justice energy. It's both Libra energy. It's knowing how to weigh out the pros and cons. And when we have to do that, we just like kind of have to remove our ego. And that's exactly what the Queen of Swords does, is she's able to just say, you know what? This works for my ultimate goal, even if it's hard to cut these things off, even if it's painful, even if it's humbling, not what I want, right? At the same time, there's value in putting energy towards the right places, right time. I feel like there might be some outside influence with this King of Pentacles. I know King of Pentacles is Capricorn energy, but I don't feel like this is you. I feel like this is something outside of you that was feeding into this situation, feeding into the dynamic. Someone who's telling you, I don't know, I don't think it's bad advice. I feel like this is something that's valuable to listen to, but I feel like at the same time, it's also kind of hindering you from moving forward. It's hindering you, you know, there's skepticism is what I keep hearing. It's, should you trust this or shouldn't you? And I feel like maybe someone's kind of telling you to hold off, you know, especially, oh, sorry. One of my cards fell. The plague doctor. Yeah, this is someone who, you know, again, maybe has the best intentions, but I feel like there's a little bit of a jaded perspective, right? I feel like the advice that they're giving you, it has ulterior motives. It is very ego-based. So really be conscious and mindful of advice. I always say just listen to yourself. Listen to what feels good. And sometimes we just have to have a conversation in order to get more clarity, in order to understand, is this really a chance I want to take, you know? Instead of assuming, right? What does assuming do? It makes an ass out of you and me. That can be really dangerous. And I feel like with this King of Pentacles, Three of Wands, they're really kind of just, it's not in alignment with what is highest and best for you. Yeah. Messages, communication. I feel like you're going to have a lot of clarity around this over the next couple weeks, especially with Mercury going into retrograde, and ways that you need to set better boundaries for yourself. This is listening again to your own instincts, right? Not just your intuition, but what feels right for you. Yes, it's great when people weigh in, when they give their opinion, if asked, right? But sometimes there is this value of people having ulterior motives, saying those, you know, giving advice out of more ego-based perspective, you know, and yeah, fine, well and good, but everyone is different. Everyone is going to show up differently. Like we talked about, have different perspectives. And even if the intention is good on this person's end, at the same time, it's limiting you. And I feel like you know that because you're in this space where this vibe has not served you. It's gotten you to a certain space, right, that I think is good. There's accomplishment behind it. But it's not, you know, it's very inflexible. It's very rigid. And when we're rigid, we're not open to the flow of life. We're not allowing that prana to flow through us. We're not really stepping into the beautiful magic of manifestation, right? And the way that life ebbs and flows. Yeah, something, this definitely is confirming with that fact. Someone has been pretty sneaky. And pay attention to it this week, Capricorn, or next couple weeks. Because again, we really want to, this is all about our empowerment. We're in Aries season. Yes, again, take advice where need be, but then at the same time, don't do something that doesn't feel right for you. Even if it makes sense, it's like, does this really fit for me? Or is this just something that, you know, someone else is saying because they got their panties in a bunch, that type of vibe. So I hope this helped, Capricorn. Thank you so much for your time and energy always. I really appreciate the support to the channel, especially if you've made it this far in the video. Definitely drop comments. I love to hear how it resonates. I love to support in whatever way possible. I hope you have a fabulous day, fabulous couple weeks. Tune in for readings at the channel. All right, lots of love, lots of blessings. Have a great day.